I was just kind of going nuts a little bit about the fact that this match is 5 years old. That seems so long ago to me. That's half of my tournament Street Fighter career ago. Believe it. 2000, well, maybe a little bit less. 2002 I started. So almost, man.
You've only been playing for 10 years.
In tournaments? Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah. 2002 was when I started out. So I feel like the difference between 2002 and when Street Fighter 4 came out was like gigantic. But then I think of Street Fighter 4 as coming out not even that long ago. So I don't know, just evolution of age, I guess. I was also thinking about how we all used to rip on Capcom for reusing the Morgan sprite, right? That was from '94, and it was last used in 2001. 7 years. Well, when Ultra Street Fighter 4 comes out, this game's going to be 6 years old. Right? Like, they're going to have reused these things. And if Ultra Street Fighter 4 is weird in some way and needs rebalancing, they're going to be doing the same stuff for 7 years. Again.
They reuse the sprites in Cross Tekken, right? The sprites.
Oh, no, yeah, dude. I'm serious. I'm telling you. The Street Fighter 4 game engine is the new Morgan sprite. Right? Anyways, so this match that we're gonna watch is between some Ken player whose name I don't know that language, and a Sea Viper who same thing. Just two random players from 2008 in August, but good enough that it was uploaded, which was rare at the time. I feel like such an old guy, which was rare at the time. So okay, look at what Viper does, right? She gets a knockdown and then just goes for far seismos. Okay, it goes in this time, but just mistimes it entirely. By the way, again, sorry if you can't see the 10 pixels that are on screen. There are two characters playing, actually. A little tough to see, maybe, but it's happening. Jump back short. What? Okay. Oh, he used the target combo. This is a third strike player. We didn't know it was terrible yet. Oh, are you serious? What a ridiculous okie doke. Oh, yeah, and Ultras did 10,000 damage, so there you go. Little mix-up, why not? But so notice so far, Viper, bunch of zoning, hasn't really done anything that we would call Vortex. Vortex, the term, had yet to be applied. So that's we didn't have that terminology yet even. Okay, gets a little bit of damage in there, goes in, crouching strong ×2. I'm telling you, man, target combo again. Wow, focus dash through. You don't see Viper use her actual focus very often anymore. Yeah, wow. Touched him with her elbow on the focus.
Dude, there's no feints.
No.
There are no feints.
There are no feints. I don't even know if people knew about feints at this time. Crouching jab? What are you doing? So Ken trying to find his way in or something. I don't know if he's trying to zone, really. Oh, there was a feint.
Dude, like Viper's trying to play Street Fighter.
Right? She's a Street Fighter character right now. I'm telling you, we didn't know that she was good because people were playing her like this. We'd yet to develop the real crazy Street Fighter 4 Viper. Yeah, they're definitely playing footsies, right? In fact, among the two, the Ken player is the more shenanigansy. Yeah, she's on the ground. She's using normals. She's playing footsies like a Street Fighter character. You're right. This is the first of 3 rounds, as you can see.
And no one probably even knows that low 4 Thunder Knuckle's not even a true block string.
I don't think people knew that. Yeah. Wow, spends a bar on the EX. Was waiting for something, it didn't come. No frame trap, no meaty option selects from Ken. No tricky business in terms of which way to block. And yeah, wow. Focus dash toward. I haven't seen a Viper player do that in so long now. Use a little bit of EX for no reason. People were used to doing that from Ken. Oh, probably supposed to be Ultra. And she's about to lose. Ooh, the feint though. She can make a big comeback. Jump roundhouse. Do it. Oh, well, okay, that's fine too. Okay. I actually didn't watch this video all the way towards the end before I picked it, so that's pretty sick. Ends 3-2 on the double KO. I didn't even know that that was going to happen, to be honest. But right, so you could see how Viper was playing. Very grounded, very Street Fighter, as we were saying. She used focus dash to ward. She didn't really go for vortex stuff. Ken was playing lots of grounded footsies himself, but he was a little bit more shenanigansy, just with no setups really, with no set plays, with no good cross ups. He used the target combo. I don't know if I saw a single Kara throw from Ken the whole time, which by the way was one of the first bits of technology that anybody knew in Street Fighter 4. It was one of the first things that we had found. So you know, it's hard to recognize some of that stuff as Viper or as Ken in Street Fighter 4. Now what we're gonna do is fast forward about 4.5 years, almost 5 years actually, to Evolution 2013, and we're gonna have Viper versus Ken. It is let me see the names. I actually don't recall. Well, yeah, it's definitely Wolfkrone versus oh yeah, Yubiken. That's right. That's right. So this is in Evolution 2013. Let's get this started. Everybody knows who Wolfkrone is. Very strong Viper player. He can play footsies with her, but we're not going to see it how it was done in the previous one. Obviously, he wants to go in more. Ken is going to be a little bit more active. He's going to have some setups that we didn't see before. Kind of a frame trap there from far away. Stand around us, we didn't see any of that. In fact, that was a relatively recent thing, even this year at Evo. I mean, that was, I don't know, earlier this year at the earliest is when I first saw it. So we had Wake Up FADC, Focus against the Burn Kick, which we didn't really see that much of in the first place anyway, the Burn Kick. Lots of feints. And Ken's playing patiently, just trying not to let Viper in. There you go, the low profile move underneath the Burn Kick. We didn't see any of that one either in the previous 2008 game. And way less toward medium kick too, so far. Tried to dash up. Ooh, that's got to be punished well. He could have done so much damage. That's just unfortunate for Wolfkrone. Wow, okay. Strong Dragon Punch. Yeah, lots of feints there as Wolfkrone tries to come in. Counter hit setup. And he gets... Oh! That's not what he wanted, I don't think, but it pays off for him. But his intention was to play some kind of setup as Ken was getting up, which presumably would have been safe from Dragon Punch, as most modern setups are. The EX stays in front. Nice little trickiness. And good mobility, too. Wow, nice little... found the crouching strong, like right at the end of the fingers. And now he's caught in the corner. Great FADC toward. We didn't see any of that previously either. Oh, back throw? Why back throw? Because he wanted to go for some craziness, obviously. Some EX tattoo setup that I wouldn't have known which way to block. And I guess Wolfkrone didn't want to test it. He just got out of dodge. Going for the escape. Lots of mobility from Wolfkrone Viper so far. Gets the Hurricane in there. Oh, the low profile again and the back throw again. And there's the... It wasn't EX, but it was... a Hurricane kick again as a meaty. So a couple of set plays from Ken. Very different Viper play. It just looks like a totally different character, as you could see. He's trying to find a start to something, is Wolfkrone. He doesn't want to just be playing footsies here. He wants to get in there and cause some havoc, of course. And this is where he does it. If he's going to do it anyway, which it looks like he's not. Oh man, that was a screw up for sure. So now Wolfkrone's got a chance. Oh, doesn't really make anything happen. Staying away now. And Ken really trying to get in. Tried to react to the burn kick with crouching medium kick underneath it. We've seen a lot of that so far. Lots of mobility from both too, dashing either way. Wow, trades it. Gets the ultra, is going to take the round on this. We didn't see any of that either in August of 2008. Ooh, gigantic. A combo that I don't even know if people knew about it in 2008. Probably not, I guess. Great round so far from Wolfcrone. Tons of damage. He's caged Ken into the corner. Ooh, screwed it up. He knew what that was going to be, and that's going to be that. So that's the power of Viper in 2013 in a way that we didn't see in 2008. Not just in August, but I mean, not for the first half year of Viper did we see anything approaching that. Some people I saw on the forums back then kind of mentioned it, like, here's what I think Viper can do in the future. But nobody had it in play. Only a couple of guys in Japan at the start, and then, as you were saying, Combo Fiend was one of the first in the US to start doing that stuff. Lots of frame traps from Wolfcrone. And Yubiken's just been... Oh, wait, Yubiken, that's not his name. It's Kyo Takahashi. Did not realize that before. And there was a crouch tech there too, by the way, which we didn't have until quite a ways into Street Fighter 4's lifetime. Tried to get in. Oh no, almost dead. Ooh, fainted it. That was pretty clever. So it doesn't really matter to me who wins this one. I just wanted to show the differences in gameplay. There was a combo that we didn't see before from Ken. Haven't seen any target combos, obviously, from Ken. I'm sure there was a setup behind that jump roundhouse there. It must have been something. And then there was a crouch tech there that he turned into a little block string. Oh, so sick. Going down to the final round. Ooh, starting things off. Wolfcrone from far. You see how he's using his kind of mid-range and far projectile game to start off his offense, which was completely different from how the Viper was using his similar options in 2008. I mean, he was using those options. He just wasn't using them to try to get in the same kind of way. So same tools, very different strategy with them. Ooh, got under it. And now Ken's got Viper in the corner. Wow, crouch tech. No counter hit setup from Wolfcrone. That could have sealed it. Oh, punish? No, not quite. Punish? Ooh, he's missed a couple. He has missed a couple. Yeah, you could see on his face too. So, again, the winner of it is not really the point of this analysis. It's just to see how things are played differently. And they're played quite differently. Viper is a very different character than she was at the start of Street Fighter 4. And she and Ken are a couple of other characters who, again, they have been tweaked, but in relatively minor ways. Nothing compared to a bunch of other characters in the cast. They have some different tools now than they used to. They don't have some of the same tools that they used to. But for the most part, they're fairly similar. So the changes have really just come from people figuring things out. People have spent a lot of time with Viper, and people like Wolfcrone have taken her kind of to her ceiling, or at least what we now think of as her ceiling. Maybe it's not her ultimate ceiling. But, it's interesting to think that he wasn't the guy who was building her in 2008, or in 2009, or I think it was only in 2010 that I first heard of him, and 2011 was his big breakout year. So he kind of latched on to the stuff that previous people had been making. That's kind of how this process goes. That's something that I'm going to talk about a little bit more after we take another break. James. Hey, welcome back to Level 3 Focus. My name is UltraDavid. Today we're talking about matchups and how they evolve. We've seen some examples so far of how things were played in 2008 and then how they were played in 2013. We saw how, even before the game officially came out, in the location test, Zangief and E Honda were just what looks to us like completely random scrubs mashing, but at the time was people actually trying to play the game. Looks nothing like how it is played today. Totally different. Then we saw some characters who really haven't been changed all that much by Capcom over Street Fighter 4's various iterations, but their gameplay has been changed a lot just by the players as the sets have evolved. I was originally thinking about looking at Dhalsim versus Ryu exclusively, and I had found 4 or 5 matches that I wanted to talk about, including Daigo versus Io. If you recall, Daigo won the Street Fighter 4 championships in early 2009 over Dhalsim. And that was at a time when Dhalsim was generally considered by most people to be pretty bad, which was very interesting because then we saw a guy in Io take that character to some new heights. He was a guy who had been playing CVS2 Dhalsim really, really well for a while and was one of the best players in the world at that game with a character that people thought wasn't very good. So when I saw that as a Dhalsim player, I thought to myself, well, it's probably just him being really good. No need to reevaluate the matchup. But I've learned since then that that's not the case. When somebody does something great with a character, you have to analyze it and figure it out. See what they're doing. It's not just them and their mix-ups. It's that they have some new idea, some new strategy. And my recognition of that helped me as a player. But that recognition among many people is how evolution happens. It's not just a one-person thing. So it's very, very rarely the case that somebody comes up with, all of the tricks and tips and strats for a character and also puts them into place, and that nobody else does the same, or that they develop their own in kind of seclusion. Super, super rare for that to happen. What's much more common is that people see what everybody else is doing, take a little bit of it, copy a little bit of it, and add to it, and change it in this very organic method. So that's what happened in Ryu versus Dhalsim. It's not the case that that the 2 players that we saw at the end there were, maybe there the whole time. I think actually one of them was, but they might not have been there the whole time. They definitely didn't come up with all the stuff. What they did was they had their own ideas on how to play the matchup. At the same time, many other people were, going through their own ideas, and they paid attention. And that paying attention helps them to figure out the matchup. Not everybody can do it on their own. In fact, it's almost impossible to do it on your own. It's much better if you, look at what has gone before and look at what is going on around you. That is really how matchups evolve. It's something that happens in every game, not just in Street Fighter 4. And in some cases, it takes a very long time. We've talked, I think, a bunch of times in the past about how, a great example is in Super Turbo, T-Hawk went from being one of the worst characters in the game to being one of the best characters in the game over a large period of time, over more than a decade, a dozen years. In the US, maybe more like 15 years. And that's probably something that's not going to happen again, that length of time. People nowadays have too many tools. There's YouTube and forums and shows like this and lots of things and online play. So many more people are playing as well. That kind of length of time isn't going to happen. But it's kind of an extreme example of how things can in some cases take a long time to be discovered. Little tricks, little strategies, different ways of playing, and then even after their discovery, they can take a long time to kind of diffuse throughout the whole community in a way that really changes the matchups and how everybody plays. So, again, it's really cool for me to look at how I thought about Dhalsim matchups, because a bunch of the characters that I thought he beat, I now think beats him. And in fact, it didn't take until 2013 for me to think that Abel beat Dhalsim. It took a lot less time than that. We had Abel players who were really good in SoCal. Combo Fiend was one, and Bust-a-Bust were probably the couple best. And, they figured out after, half a year or so that their character should do really well in that matchup. And Abel always has since then. Same with Rufus. We had a bunch of good Rufuses at the time. It's not like we didn't. So for me to come out and say that I thought that Sim was 6-4 over Rufus wasn't because I was playing against bad players. Ken I was really good, for example, with Rufus. It's that it took a while to understand what all of Rufus's tools were. It took a while to understand what all of Dhalsim's tools were. I think that Dhalsim is now one of the 10 worst characters in Street Fighter 4. It's not that I think that he's terrible, but he is in that bottom to low kind of tierish placing. And that's almost entirely due to just organic changes in gameplay, to how people are playing Street Fighter 4. Not necessarily to any of Capcom's changes. But it's not just Capcom. So Injustice came out, half a year ago now, something like that. And it's a young game, and it just had this giant patch revision. And that patch changed a lot of things about the characters themselves and about the game in general. The game mechanics, in some cases, are different than they were before. But I've been playing the crap out of that game lately and spending a lot more time on Test Your Might. It's, which is one of the major Injustice forums, and on IRC channels and all sorts of stuff talking about the game. People are very certain about matchups in Injustice, which is surprising to me because that's just not how things are. It's not how Street Fighter went. It's not how SF4 went. ST was the same. Third Strike was the same. But maybe more at home for them is MK9 wasn't the same. I can recall commentating for MK9 the first time it was at EVO 2013. I was really into the game at the time. I was playing it a lot. And very few people were playing Jax. And I can recall shortly after that period of time, I think even before, there was a big revision to the game engine and to the characters, I guess, that Jax was good. It was just a very short period of time. One guy in New York started to play him really well, and that kind of, was diffused over time all over the place. Injustice is kind of the same way. So what's happening now is that people are talking about Bane in Injustice. Bane has been doing really, really well at weeklies of late. It's happened in Southern California. It's happened in Chicago. It's happened in New Jersey. Those are a few of the biggest spots for the game right now. And, 4 or 5 different players are making that character look really, really good. And so there's a little bit of interesting kind of matchup evolution talk to go around to that. People thought that Bane was really bad before this, in fact. I was kind of one of those guys for a while. Full disclosure, I thought he was good for quite a while, and just kind of I didn't want to say it publicly out of some selfish reasons that didn't end up paying off. But a lot of people thought he was bad. And now all of a sudden he seems like he's good, and people are kind of freaking out about it a little bit. Not sure what to make of it. Is he a good character? Is he not? Are these people just mashing buttons? Are they not? It's going to take a while to figure out. And so for somebody to say, as people have said, that Bane certainly loses some matchups, or that he certainly wins some matchups, not just Bane, for all the characters, is crazy. Because things are going to change. If you look at Injustice, provided that it's still getting a lot of gameplay in 5 years, as we have in Street Fighter 4, it's not going to be the same game. Even if NRS keeps its hands off of it, it's not going to be the same game in a very large respect, because people are going to organically figure out how to play the game better. And in going back at that future period of time and seeing our old videos from this period of time, we're going to seem as stupid as the Viper player playing a grounded footsie game in Street Fighter 4 and doing focus dash toward through fireballs and doing crouching jab and stuff like that. We're going to seem as stupid as the Honda player who didn't have any combos and was just doing jab hands and did Wake Up Ultra and stupid stuff like that. It's always how fighting games go. It's one of my favorite things about it, is how even after you learn all of the rules, by which I mean not just the game engine, but how moves interact with each other, and all the little situations, even after all that, that's really when major strategic shifts happen. And that's a really fun part to be a part of, not just as a player, but as anybody involved in the fighting game community. It's an interesting process to watch. So I'm sure that we will see that in the future. Anything else to talk about for tonight?
Want to take questions, or
I don't know.
Just stop?
Yeah, so we'll have the Tuesday show tomorrow. We will be talking about probably Oni by Infiltration.
Rumors.
definitely be talking about all these rumors that have been flying around regarding Ultra Street Fighter 4. Talk about our thoughts on some of them if they're true.
There's a couple of things.
I have no idea.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll figure it out.
Because we plan it ahead of time.
We totally plan it ahead of time.
Always.
Yeah. We basically our process is to like send each other an IM like 2 hours in advance and be like, so like, what do you want to do? And then the other guy will be like, I don't know, what's in the news?
Don't reveal our creative process, man.
So that'll be at 8:30 p.m. tomorrow Pacific time. Tune in at the same time and the same place as always.
Same same bat channel.
This video should be up on the internet by then at our YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/UltraChenTV. Also, we never mentioned this, but by the way, we do have subscriptions, and if you want, you can subscribe to us. All the information is on our Twitch channel and also our website, which is ultrachentv.com. And you can either do it by giving us money directly or by paying money to Twitch, which gets you not just the ability to support us, but also the ability to use our hilarious Twitch faces. Yeah, including the best one, in my opinion, Pot Split. That's my favorite, personally. So. All right, anyway, I guess that's it for tonight. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you soon.